the MD of Bosch. Good morning, Mr. Bhattacharya, and congratulations on this new post. The biggest positive for Bosch as a company is that the margins are at historic highs. In Q4, the margins hit a high of 27.3%, but the fear is that this may not be sustainable. What's your view?
It's very important to look at trends not on a quarter-to-quarter basis. So what you refer is a correct figure, that we had a reduction in our material cost in the previous quarter against the previous year's quarter. And this quarterly impacts always has sometimes also a big one-time impact, which I already explained. So I would say when you look at the yearly figure we have a slight improvement. So that's a bit of an efficiency and an improvement, and also it has to do with mix. But it's not such a big differential. The second part, any raw material depends on a few elements that all of us need to understand. First is the mix of the products. Second is the localization content. Third is the commodity pricing. So I would only say in Bosch we look carefully at yearly trends. We don't look only at quarterly. We differentiate between the one-time effects and the continued effects, and we focus very strongly on improved efficiencies. So that's a far better way to look at rather than just a figure.
Okay, by the way, the market is picking up some pace in the mid-cap side. So advance decline ratio is now clearly in favor of the advances, and it's turning out to be a bit of a pharma day today. Aurobindo Pharma is your top gainer now, 2.5% higher. Wockhardt is doing well. A couple of others like in the non-pharma space also we have seen some gainers. Page Industries has moved to high point. Cholamandalam, Tata Global. So individual stocks doing well, though at index level still a bit subdued. Mr. Bhattacharya, good morning. So the government has notified to shift from BS4 to BS5 by April 2020. Will this dent return ratios considering the shorter time span?
Yeah, I will put it in a slightly different way. The first very important point that you referred about was BS4 to BS6, 1st April 2017 to 1st April 2020. You're absolutely right. However, in my view, it's not 3 years that we have. Actually, we have 2.5 years. 2.5 years before the OEMs will have to get their act right, and we have to get our act right together as partners, for us to provide a holistic solution and have vehicles starting to roll with effect from 1st of October. So it's 2.5 years first, I would say. The second part I would say is that this leap that we have to do it jointly. The OEMs and partners like us who are doing a holistic journey. And there's a lot of time required for things like validation, technology absorption, creating affordable technologies, and so on and so forth. Bosch, being a holistic solutions provider, we are prepared for it, and we are working with our customers. Now I come to the third point which you raised, and you said, how prepared are we, and are we going to see any disruption, including are we going to have impacts on ROIs? Now, I feel it's very important for the industry to focus on delivering the final solution to the end customer, which means not only to the OEMs, and the OEMs finally to the customers who are going to buy the new vehicles. ROIs will automatically correct themselves over time once we focus on getting our act right in getting the solution, what I call as, from the development process to the manufacturing process and right up to the SOP of the entire vehicle. So I would say ROIs will follow. Hiccups are naturally bound to be there for any stage in life, including there'll be hiccups now for GST.
Okay, hiccups for GST. The diesel fuel injection space, though, is seeing a lot of competition lately. I mean, Bosch has been facing competition from the likes of Tata Cummins, Delphi, etc. You guys still have the highest market share at 70%, but is there a possibility of a fall in market share because of competition increasing?
I think Bosch has been very respectful to its customers and also to its competitors. So I think we will continue our strategy. we will naturally fight for our own turf, as will our competitors. And our customers, I think, are also pretty clear that they want to work with people who give solutions providers. So I would say Bosch doesn't see any major impact in conversion from BS4 to BS6, while being extremely respectful to customers' decisions as well as to competitors' decision. So I think it's very important for us to accept that, you know, in the world there's an open economy system, and competition is good for everyone, and customers have the right to choose. Our USPs that we create is, we are not just a company who delivers products and components. We give business solutions, and we work and walk with our customers from the stage of pre-development and right up to seeing that the end product, which is the vehicle, is running well and meeting regulatory norms as well as efficiency norms. So I think that's a very, very important and big differentiator.
Okay, well, just focusing back on market, those couple of stocks are surging now. Canpin Homes, so it's turning out to be clearly a stock-specific day. So just keep an eye on especially the NBFC space. Mr. Bhattacharya, final question then. You had earlier hinted the possibility of short-term disruption in H1 FY18 due to GST implementation. Can you highlight the impact?
First of all, in Bosch, you know, we started a very intensive project across all our divisions, across all our 11 legal entities that we have in Bosch, besides the public listed company called Bosch Limited. And we have a very well-oiled machine in terms of cross-functional, cross-divisional, working with our customers, working with our suppliers, or what we call as business partners, in a very intensive way, and a very, very granular as well as holistic manner. So on one hand, I think a company which is very process and systems oriented like Bosch, we have worked very hard on this for the past 2 years. On the other hand, on your question, it's a more generic question for the industry. This is not Bosch specific. Even if individual companies are well prepared, there may and there is likely to be hiccups and disturbances for the first few months. It could extend even to a quarter. I hope not. I hope that after a month or two, the hiccups will die down and it'll be business as usual for the entire industry. That's something. The second part we can't change or influence, while we will work in a very granular way with both our vendors as well as with our customers to see that there are no hiccups. So on the second part, I think generally any such change of an impact which is so huge normally goes through a bit of a turmoil, and I expect India will have some hiccups which are a few months, could last even a quarter.